It's funny, people always say that motocross is such a dangerous sport, and my reply is always that no, it's not so bad, and we have a lot of protective gear on. And if you look at the statistics, for example, horseback riding have way more accidents. But I ended up in the emergency room after only handling my bike inside the garage. I just realized how tired I look in the previous clip. Now we have a 1-year-old and she's not so much into sleeping at night, so that's the reason why I look tired. So what happened was that I was working on my bike in the garage. It was quite late. I think I was playing around with the carburetor at the time. And I was quite desperate to get it running because it was practice the day after and I really didn't want to miss that. So I was playing around with the bike, trying to fix it, and then I finally put it together and it was time to see if it started. It did not, but I kicked it over a few times and suddenly I slipped on the kickstarter and kind of dragged it along my leg. It hurt quite bad, but I didn't think much of it because I was blue on my leg since before, so I thought that's the reason why it hurt. And so I kept kicking for a while and then I gave up. So I packed my tools together and put the bike to the side and so on. And about 20 minutes later I started to notice a strange feeling in my sock or in my shoe. It felt kind of wet. So I looked down and realized it was full of blood. So I went inside and looked a little bit closer on my leg and realized I had kind of a long open wound that was almost all the way into the bone. It was kind of open like a mouth. It looked kind of disgusting. So I taped it together and I had to drive to the emergency room, of course. And in there was no waiting line for once, which was good. So I was received by 2 male nurses, and those 2, they were more interested to hear about my bike and which make and model and year and so on, and where I used to practice. And yeah, and then finally they got around to looking at my leg, and they said, "No, yeah, you have taped it so nice. We probably don't even have to remove the tape. We can probably leave it." And then they discussed a little bit back and forth, but they decided that they should remove the tape and look if it maybe needed cleaning. So they took the tape off slowly, and then this wound opened up again, like really so twing. And they were like a little bit shocked and said, okay, we have to get a doctor now and let him have a look at it. And the doctor came and said, oops, you need stitches here. So that's what happened. I had to go to the doctor instead, and he stitched the wound up. So I was then ordered to not drive and no kickstarting without protection gear on in the future. So I missed the practice the day after, of course. Yeah, the bike didn't start anyway, so that's what happened. So here comes a disgusting photo of the wound. So if you're sensitive, close your eyes for 5 seconds now. Going into the hospital to have the stitches removed. That was quick. Stitches off, and now I have to walk around with this tape thing on for 2 weeks. Time to take the tape off and see how it looks underneath. Right. Not so bad, I think.